So, as promised, I wanted to come back and just real quickly go over how to format a data plot. And so I'm just going to use this plot that we generated earlier, where we have um, no titles on the axes, which is bad. You never, ever want to give to anyone a plot that does not tell you what these axes mean, because without those values on the axes, right, it's not helpful. Now, granted, you can get by with this one since we already know what it is as we're talking about it, but if you give it to someone and they don't know what you're talking about, they won't know what any of these numbers mean. So it's always very important, especially for any kind of a lab report or any kind of thing that you're handing in to a professor. If it has a plot on it and it does not tell you what the axes mean, you will get points taken off for that. So I want to help you here. So basically, we've got our plot, and what we would do is we could go back to the chart design and format. So if we go to chart design and format, um, basically what I typically use is I just go to design and come to quick layout. And quick layout gives you all different kinds of layouts that you can choose from, which is kind of nice. It's like if you like having the grid on a plot, you can use this one. If you like just having the horizontal lines, you could use this one. So let's just go in and we'll use the grid for this one. But the thing that I want to show you is that, see, when you use the layout, it goes ahead and it inserts these axis titles. And that's really what I wanted to talk about for formatting the plot. So if you're plotting just one set of data, you don't need a key. Now, if you were plotting more than, like we could have plotted all three of our data sets on one plot, then we would have needed a key to tell what are the different things. But for this one, we don't. So we can actually just delete that. Here, for this data set, what we need is we want to format this axis just simply as this is, remember, this is the y-axis, and in our plot, this is the data that's going from point 1 all the way up to 10, so we can tell this is the y-axis. And the y-axis then is the concentration of A in molar. So we're going to put in bracket A, close bracket, and then space, open parentheses, capital M, close parentheses. And so that would be the label for our y-axis. We could just come down here to x-axis and just real simply put in time. Always, no matter what the name of the axis is, you always want to give the units. And so the way we typically do that is put it in parentheses, and that tells you this is time in seconds as opposed to minutes or hours or days or whatever. So you always want to tell what the axis is, concentration or time, and then what the units of the axis, what are the units? Is it molarity? Is it seconds? Is it something else like volts, um, uh, days, or whatever? So very important that you format your plot. And then you can also put title in if you want. If you wanted to put the title, you could come back. You could select one that has a title. We could have selected layout 2 with a title. Now, if we do it now, it's going to change everything we've got. So I'm not going to do that. But basically, for this plot, we know we don't even have to have a title. We know this is zero order because it has just the concentration straight. If it had the natural log of the concentration, we would know this is a plot of the natural log of the data. And so we would be looking at this, the first order, or if this had 1 over A, we would know we were looking at the second order. So if a plot of the 1 over A values versus time. So I just wanted to real quick go over with you on how to do that. You can, I will say, if you didn't have a title, you could put a chart title in. So here with add a chart element, you could come in, you could add axis titles that way. You could add data labels that way. You could even add a chart title. Like if we wanted to put it above the chart, a centered overlay title. So if we just put it above, then we could come in here and we could change this to say this is a zero order plot or something like that. And you can add it. But the key thing about any plot, and again, I know this is like beating a dead horse, but that's what professors do. And that is emphasis, emphasis. Never turn in a plot, ever turn in a plot that does not have axes labeled. Okay, so let's just so we're clear on that. Anytime you turn in a plot to me, first thing I'm gonna look at is, does this person, have they labeled the axes? So be sure to do that. And that's it.